Hey, I'm Carlos Garcia, and today we're getting into my top 10 finished bourbons of 2025. And I know the past 4 videos have all been about ryes. We're getting back on bourbons. How I'm gonna do this today is I'm going to blind taste my top 6. I'm really going over my top 12, but top 10 is just more clickbaity, I guess. In 12th place, this Art of the Spirits Chief Cigar Blend Chief Crazy Horse. And you'll see a theme on this list today that there's gonna be a lot of cigar blends because I bought basically every single one I saw in 2025. So that came out with a score of a 3.5 for the year after 3 different reviews. We have one of the more expensive bottles up here, and this is the Angel's Envy Cask Strength of 2025. So that's 11th place with a score of 3.5. We have Bardstown Discovery Series 13. Why are you not focusing? There we go. And that ended up with a score of 3.5833. And I know this is a double oaked, and you'll see there's another double oaked at least. And I didn't put any double oaked into my top 25 bourbons of the year, so they kind of they fell into this category. You know, there's a whole debate on, is it really finished? It is finished in another new barrel, but sometimes I'll leave that in the other tournament. But so many good bourbons this year, they kind of fell into this lineup. So in 9th, we have another cigar blend, the Sealbox Humidor Blend Cigar Batch. This is Cigar Batch 1, an overall score of 3.625. So then in 8th place, we got the Bardstown Ferrand with 3.7. And then right outside in the 7th place is the 13th Colony 113. This is maple spiral finish, right? If I remember correctly. Finished with maple wood spirals. So they just came out with a rye. It's also going to be 113 and finished in maple spirals. I haven't got that yet, but I will try to buy it if I can see it. Finished out with a 3.75 for the year. So these are the bourbons that came outside my top 6. So let's get into the bottles that we're actually going to blind today. All right, before we get into those 6, let's do the giveaway, since I usually do it at the beginning of the videos. All right, so this is for the first rye video of last week, like the top 10 part 1. So I forgot what was even that, but I know it's 2 ounce samples, and the winner is Robert Nygaard 8310. Congratulations. I just sent you samples the other day because you won my Patreon giveaway. All right, so in no particular order, because that's what we're going to find out today, my top 6 finished bourbons of the year. Of course, we're going to have at least one cigar batch up here, right? This is the Brothers of the Leaf. And I'll go a little bit more information on these since they're going to be in today's video. So this is bourbon finished in toasted French oak casks. I was quickly checking to see if it was finished in anything else, but that's it. Unlike this crazy one, which is finished in 10 different things, this is a Blue Note Cask Finish series. This, I heard that they have another one coming out that's also finished in a ridiculous amount of things too. So many things. Cognac, Madeira, Sherry, Port, Triple Sec, Madeira again, Apricot, Brandy, Amontillado, Vanilla Cognac, Vino de Naranja, all different percentages. And like I've done, I think every other time, I'm pretty sure I just post a picture of all this craziness up there for you guys so you guys can see. 10 different finishes, but it is fantastic. Even though every time I have this, it's on video. I feel like I've never had it outside of recording a video because it's not too much out of it. We got Copper and Cask, another cigar blend. This is an 8-year-old. This is batch 13. I have a few different Copper and Cask. I have a bunch of Copper and Cask bottles, but the cigar blends themselves, I have a few different ones. But some of them are Canadian, some of them are bourbon. So this is MGP, 8-year-old, finish in Armagnac, Port, Cognac, and Sherry Cask. So this video is for Monday. I'm recording it Sunday, so like the day before. But I'm actually going to Copper and Cask on Tuesday to do my very first pick. It's gonna be a collab pick with a local liquor store because I don't think I can sell a whole barrel. Not that you guys aren't great, but I just doubt that's gonna happen. It is gonna be a collab pick. So more information on that coming soon whenever I find out. I'm hoping to maybe get a cigar batch single barrel type situation. We'll see. You know, the owner of the store is kind of leaning somewhere else in a different direction. We're just gonna pick whatever the best barrel is. But if it happens to be a cigar batch, that would be perfect for this channel. Because as you can see in my finished bourbons of the year, a few of them are cigar batch related. I might as well grab it right now. So the pick I was on, this is Angel's Envy pick. You know, we called it 2 to Tango, 5 to Finish, fruit, nuts, and dessert. You know, this is a pick I was actually on in Kentucky with the same store that I'm going to Copper and Cask on Tuesday. And this is such a good Angel's Envy pick. I've loved it all year. You know, some of you guys, you know, reached out to me and I sent it out to you guys. This is my third bottle of it. Probably the one bottle I've gone through multiples of in 2025. I really do enjoy it. You know, I'm not going to try to be one of those channels that does a bunch of picks or anything like that, but this kind of just fell into my lap to do, and I really enjoy the Copper and Cask bottles I have, so I was like, shoot, why not? Let's just see what happens. We got this Penelope Omega, and this is finished in French oak barrels. So we have, this is French oak too, right? Yep, French oak casks. So a couple of French oak stuff. Pour multiple things. Another double oak. This is Pursuit United. This is a pick by Sealbox. This has been in a couple different videos. Really enjoyed this bottle. And again, another bottle that going into my top 25 videos, but then I took out the double oaks, or else the Maker's Mark Cellar Age or the Dark Arts Buff Turkey wasn't gonna make that list. They fell into this list. So let's get into the blind on these 6. All right, let's get into nose on A. Get A on the nose, oak, peanut, dark sweetness, marshmallow, which technically is the opposite of dark sweetness. It wasn't very intense. It was kind of hard kind of pulling the notes. So we'll see if maybe I'm off today, or maybe it's just muted compared to some of these other ones. We'll see. So let's go to B on the nose. No, this is more intense. It's just A, I think is just more of a muted nose. All right, nose on B. Sweet, red fruit and dark fruit, jammy, and peanut butter. Kind of all over the place, but good nose overall, so can't complain there. Let's go to C. All right, C. I don't remember what this one was on, but I remember this note, and I couldn't explain it before. I'm gonna say it, I think how I said it last time, where it's a wood and yellow grass and spice note, but there is sweetness as well. It's not a bad note or anything like that. It's just a unique note that kind of gives me those notes that made any sense. C's nose was okay. Like, I feel like I didn't say enough about C. It's just a hard one to explain, but it's just a unique note. You know, when we get into the finished stuff, that's you're hoping for uniqueness, or else you just drink straight bourbon. So I look at that. All right, another lighter nose, kind of like A. I'll remember already. Vanilla, red fruit, delicate. That's kind of more the lighter part. Nutty, butterscotch, marshmallow. Good amount of notes, but everything was, you know, light. So I could easily wrote slight for a lot of those notes. Let's go to E. Probably my favorite nose right there. Red Jolly Rancher right away. Sweet. Wood. Orchard, which is the apples, pears. Intense, especially compared to some of these other ones. Nutty. Strawberry. Really nice nose. Let's go to F. All right, F on the nose. Very hazelnut forward. Red fruit, stewed fruits, orchard. So a lot of fruits, but like the underlying note was a hazelnut note. It wasn't overbearing or anything, but I just kept picking it up as I was trying to pick up other notes. Pretty good notes. I like the hazelnut note, so it's not like a bad thing or anything. So let's get into the palates. Man, going back to the nose on A, it is so maple syrup forward. I wrote dark sweetness before, and that's kind of that direction. All right, first sip of the day, but a pretty good sip. I did enjoy that. And the palate and the finish were pretty different from each other. And now I'm kind of quickly looking at the nose, and I think the nose is all different. So like all 3 aspects are different from each other. So on the palate, banana, peanut butter, nutty, oak, a nice mouthfeel, very rich and oily, sweet. On the finish, toasty, vanilla, dark fruit, almond, biscuity note. Kind of like, I was like, is this like a biscuit? And it was a very almondy, so I'm pretty sure there's almond biscuits out there. Sure, I've had them in my lifetime. Put those 2 notes together, that's what it was. So pretty good, pretty unique. Second sip. So more of the same. I did write dark fruit on the palate this time, but on the finish, as soon as I get to the finish, it's that like toasty, almondy biscuit note. Very unique. Man, that finish just got even better, right? So on the palate, I got some dark chocolate note, which I also got chocolate on the finish. That's why I got better. But on the palate, I got a little graininess this time, which is fine. Like overall, it's still a very good pour. But I was like, oh, it's kind of like giving me a little bit of youthfulness to it. But man, this overall, very good. I did enjoy that a lot. That chocolate note, like I said before, on the finish, man, I don't know. That was really good. I do really enjoy it. I gotta score this so I kind of have an idea. Man, I don't know. That's gonna be decently high. Start off with a good one. Okay, we're going to B. All right, B on the palate. Overall, great, very complex. Red Jolly Rancher, red fruit, strawberry, sweet oak, dark fruit, peanut butter, dark chocolate. On the finish, a little smokiness right off the start. Red fruit, oak, sweet, cinnamon, nutty, hazelnut. The nuttiness was the hazelnut direction. So overall, very good, very complex. Second sip, really, really good. Do enjoy that a lot. I was getting a lot of strawberry, like candy sweetness on the front end of the tongue for a good bit, and that was really tasty. That's usually not a note I get a lot, but it was pretty strong and very tasty, but it was complex. You know, other notes came in. Finish, the lingering notes are all really good. Yeah, it's another top 5 list. That's basically what I've been doing for the past month and a half, is just drinking all the best stuff I found in 2025. It's been a good couple months. Can't wait to just start drinking regular stuff that, you know, is new releases, like a whole pile of new stuff that I need to review. I do have Whiskey Cigar Club coming up this Friday to open up a bunch of bottles. Yeah, I really like this one. The palate kind of is the same, really, really good. Balanced, very balanced. On the finish, I got some strawberry Laffy Taffy and vanilla notes. That's really good. First 2 bottles were good. Let's go to C. All right, C, pretty good, very intense with the spices on the palate. So wood, yellow grass, spice, kind of like I'm reading the notes, but it's the same on the palate. I was on the wrong line, but it's the same exact notes. Red fruit, intense spice, and it's not like it's overproofed or anything. It's just very intense and spicy, not in a bad way. I know that like sounds like it's in a bad way. It's not. And maybe it's just coming off of the first 2 where they weren't super intense. We'll see. On the finish, strawberry chapstick, that spice note, nuttiness, not overly complex, decent. See how the second sip goes. So honestly, I thought I was gonna get a lot more notes on that second sip because I didn't get so many on the first, but the only new note I got on the finish was vanilla. It remains not being very overly complex. It is good, there's nothing wrong with it. When you don't have that complexity, it has to be really good to kind of balance that overall experience. So we'll see how the third sip goes. The thing that really saves C is the finish. The palate remains the same. It's kind of like that one note and intense spice with some red fruit, but on the finish, even this time, I just got some smokiness, sweet red fruit. So the finish is delicious. I really do like the finish. The palate isn't there for me on this level of a top 5 list. I just don't think it gives too big of an experience like the couple, like A and B anyways. So let's go to D. Well, D was interesting, especially on the finish. We'll get to it. On the palate, vanilla, oak, woody, toasty wood, spice, sweet, nutty, walnut, hazelnut direction for the nuttiness. For the finish, sweet oak, green grapes. So we're kind of letting me down this little rabbit hole I got down myself into. Refreshing, question mark, white wine, question mark. Now I'm not saying white wine as it's a finish of like white wine was the finish, because none of these are white wine finished. Well, the blue note's finished in freaking everything, so possibly. I'm not even gonna look. But it was like, the finish was refreshing, like a white wine, which that's experience. It's more of an experience thing than maybe a taste thing. Very unique. We'll see if I get that again on the second sip. I just write what comes to my brain really quick. All right, second sip, I circled vanilla because there's a lot of vanilla on the palate, like vanilla fudge, very vanilla forward in the best possible way. On the finish, still interesting. I wouldn't say it's still that refreshing white wine direction, but as soon as I went to the finish this time, I got like a smokiness almost in the direction of like the fireworky note. Thank goodness it wasn't too strong, but I did write it down because it was kind of a little bit of that there. But I still like the lingering notes is like that green grapes. And I do eat a lot of green grapes around in this house. I do know that note for all you eat Jolly Rancher every day people. Third sip. Yeah, so even after the third sip, that like refreshing-y note is still kind of there. I do like it. So far, A, B, and D are all right around each other. They're all different from each other. Obviously, I knew today was going to be difficult because anytime you go into like a finished type thing like this where everything's finished in different things, it really comes down to how I'm feeling today. We'll see how I'm feeling today. Let's go to E. Well, I can't wait to drink that one again. So this one, I don't know if it's just coming off of D or whatever, but it's very intense of flavors. There wasn't a lot of flavors. And it's kind of like, I think, C, where it wasn't overly complex, but the flavors are very intense. And I think because now we're getting towards the end, I'm guessing it's one of the higher proof ones, but you can taste the proofiness building fast. Intense, green Jolly Rancher, oak, sweet, the proof builds quickly. On the finish, vanilla, oak, strawberry ice cream, sweet. It is in your face, which is a good thing, I guess. Second sip. So after the second sip, I wrote strawberry on the palate. I will say the palate, I really enjoy. The finish, it's not that it falls off because it's still there, because I think the intensity and the proof keeps it there, but it's not very flavorful. Kind of just like dies down the flavor, but you still know you drank something. But I really do enjoy that palate. Okay, third sip. Interesting, that third sip was probably my least favorite out of the three. I didn't have anything bad about it or anything, but I thought it was progressively getting better and better, and I thought it was gonna score a little higher, but it kind of fell flat a little bit. I have it tied with D, which I thought was gonna be past D, but I'm probably gonna have to compare those a little bit more. Let's go to F. F, that was a crazy palate. The finish did die off real quick, but again, the finishes usually get better. So we'll see. The palate, intense, nutty, fruits, melon, vanilla, hazelnut, chocolate ice cream, dark fruits, trail mix, green Jolly Rancher. And trail mix was like the nuttiness and the fruits, like you put like raisins in the trail mix. I'm telling you, this was crazy. Cause again, like the trail mix I'm thinking in my head anyways is like nuts, like the like M&Ms they sometimes put in there, and like raisins. That was amazing. Again, the finish wasn't as good. It just wasn't as complex as the palate, which hard to do, right? Nutty, sweet, hazelnut, vanilla, tobacco, leather. Different than the palate, still good. Give it a second sip. I mean, that palate, I don't think it can be any more complex than that on that palate. I wrote red Jolly Rancher this time. On the finish, chocolate, red fruit. The finish, like usually happens, was much better than the first sip. This is really good. This is really, really good. The lingering notes is like that trail mix note too. I don't have room on this paper. just writing down now. Third sip. It's crazy how good that finish got after that first sip. I see this happens too much. And this is why I do 3 sips. Really, maybe I should do 10 sips. Who knows? I do 3 sips because I feel like I'm getting a better understanding of what it is. And on this third sip, I got a little bit graininess on the palate. Now, overall, still phenomenal, but I did pick up a little bit graininess. And that's always the thing with finished whiskeys. Like, are you finishing this whiskey because it's crap and you're trying to save it? you know what I mean? Like, that's the whole thing. I don't know which bottle this is. I don't have a guess either. But I got slight graininess, which happened on glass A. It is what it is. But on the finish, because it just kept getting better and better, I wrote marshmallow s'mores. Man, that was pretty good, that finish. But overall, I love F, and I think it is my current favorites of the group. All right, we'll take a break, drink some water, and come back. Maybe I'll leave the A, B in there. I'm looking at how much time there is already on this video, and it's very long already. So I actually always record it, but I usually just cut it all out. We'll see if it's in. If not, I'll just go. If it's too long, I'll just go straight to the finishing. You'll see me soon. So take a break, got my water. All right, drink half of it. Let's see. Last place was C, so let's go straight there. I'll tell you right now, coming off of like water, not my favorites. Yeah, even after the second sip, that's what I always do if you're new here. At this part, I always drink water before each sip, the first time anyways. I take 2 sips of the actual whiskey. So going after, coming back down to C, it's definitely last place. The most lackluster out of the 6 up here. Nothing wrong with it, but these are, pulling hairs. Nothing wrong with it at all. Where, some of the other, my top 5 lists and stuff like that, there were certain bottles that were sabotaged by bad notes. Nothing up here was bad in any way. Really picking what I like today. So D and E are both tied right now. In an effort not to go C, D, E again, I'll just go to E and then I'll go to D. Water. I got more dark fruits this time on the palate. Very tasty. Man, that is so good. Okay, let's go to D. I feel like I'm gonna have to A-B these, but we'll see. Well, I actually thought E was better than D, but then I think this is the one that the third sip kind of went down a little bit. Let's go to D. D is also really good. I mean, that finish. But I am going to put E slightly above D. That is super close. Very different and both very good, but E just slightly better. Then we have A. All right, it's very good. I got a cinnamon note on the palate. So I actually need A, B, E, and A to C because, again, the profiles are so different. What do I like better today? Find out. That was actually very quick. I went from E to A, then I went back to E, and I immediately liked E better because of the fruit aspect. A is very good, but I got bump up E. So E is just climbing the ladder right now because I keep crossing out the numbers on it. All right, so now E is tied with B. I mean, that's going to compete with E for sure because it's very fruity as well. I literally wrote Fruity Pebbles. That is freaking good. It's a good amount of fruitiness and nuttiness. All right, so let's compare this to E. Let's see if this is going to be a quick fight too. Okay, this might be harder than I thought. Okay, that was very hard. I went back and forth a lot, but I did put B ahead of E. It was just overall a better experience. Now it's tied with F. So let's see how F is. F is very good. Let me just compare it to B. Here's the results. So I'm sure I'm going to leave in the A being, and you guys just fast forward to this, whatever. So let's just go into last place. So last place, oh no, let's do the giveaway. Sorry. So if you want to win 2-ounce samples of all 6 of these bottles, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment with top 5 FB. So TOP 5 FB. Top 5 finished bourbons. Makes sense to me. Let's do it. So outside the top 5, in 6th place is the Penelope Omega. And I know a lot of people were saying this is even better than the Penelope 13-year. And, it is very good. It was the only one on this table that didn't score before. So it's not as good as some of these other ones. For me, anyways. Let's go at 3.75. It was just too much one note versus some of these are just crazy amount of flavors and notes. And it makes sense because some of them are finished in a gazillion different things. So you should be getting a lot of stuff. Okay, so in top 5, in 5th place is the Copper and Cask, and this is batch 13. This is the cigar blend. Very, very good. You guys saw, if you did, when I was going back and forth, splitting hairs with some of these, and very, very good. Cheap, non-expensive bottle. Pretty good. I scored it a 4, came in 5th place. So then we go to the Pursuit United Double Oaked Seal Box Pick. Let's go to 4.1. Very good. It's funny because that's the one that wasn't like really finished in something, and it was the one that didn't have like crazy notes like some of these other ones. So that kind of makes sense. My hand's already on it because it just happens to be on it. But we got the Brother Leaf. This came in 3rd place with a score of 4.2, and this is the one that it started basically at a 4, then a 4.1, then a 4.2. It was slowly creeping up, but then it went against the Angel's Envy. Again, I was on this pick. Does that mean anything? It doesn't mean anything. Just happened to be there on that pick, and it was a really good pick, and I've been saying it's good all year. It came in 2nd place with 4.25, which is a pretty good score for me. So it is really good, and way cheaper than the winner. Now we've gone through 4 videos, or we've gone through 3 videos where the Sazerac 125 proof, a $35 to $45 bottle, has been doing amazing. It didn't win Friday's blind, spoiler. But it did very well. And in this video, the most expensive bottle on the video, on the blind, wins, of course, right? Because this is like a 200, 220, like in that price range. I don't know if the 20 was shipping or not, but you know, in that price range, so not cheap, but so freaking good. And you know, you never know when you buy a bottle that has that many finishes if they're going to just fight each other and it's not going to work out. But I love this bottle, and every time I do it for the video where I'm like, oh, I love this bottle, I should be drinking it more, I only drink it for the channel because I'm saving it apparently for who knows. But this is so good. Every time I drink it, I love this bottle. And I scored that 4.3. It's just wonderful. So if you can't get that, you know, there's a couple of picks up here. Brother Leaf, you can get that on the internet. Copper and Cask, I don't know the distribution on them or not, but you know, a lot of these bottles are, I want to say, very hard to find because, you know, I got this online, I got this in Kentucky, but I'm pretty sure they sell online. I got this in a store by me, I got the store by me, I got this store by me, but I was on the pick. And I got this online. So it's not like I pay secondary for any of these bottles. Some of these bottles are a little more expensive. Blue Note. Okay, so that was my top 5 finished bourbons of the year. Obviously, I went over my whole like top 12. So if you have a finished bourbon that you didn't see today, just tell me your favorite finished bourbons of 2025. There's so many. I have so many. And you know, again, I just go off of my spreadsheet, which isn't up to date right now because I haven't put any of my videos for the past like month on there. But I plan on doing that soon and getting that all updated, just like I plan on updating my Only Drams app once I finish this whole organizational project that I'm in the middle of. Boxes everywhere. Just to let you guys know, you know, you guys are going to watch this Monday, most likely. You guys all watch it pretty much when I post these videos. Valentine's Day just happened. I worked all weekend, so me and my wife are celebrating Valentine's Day today. It's her birthday this week. It's my birthday this week. We're both turning 40. That's right. This young looking man here is turning 40 this week. So, and I got Whiskey Cigar Club Friday, so it's gonna be a little crazy this week. So I'm trying to hopefully get ahead of these videos so it's not too crazy this weekend, but we'll see. We'll see how I balance all this together. Don't do nothing stupid. And if you do, don't get caught. Bye.